Welcome to the Edge Market Update for December 22nd, 2023. And commodities were lower this week on some wetter weather forecasts in Brazil as we continue to trade the weather market down in South America. And also, traders were taking time off this week, taking profits at the end of the year before they spend time with their families. So we had pretty light trading volume overall. But to start with old crop corn, we're on the March 24 contract, and we close the week at $4.73. We still remain in a downtrend from late July, early August. We're at the bottom of the support range here, and we actually bounced off of the support at 468 this week, and we close the week about 5 cents higher at 473. Really don't want to see it close below this declining trend line on the bottom here. Anything below 465 on a daily close would have me concerned of an even lower test in the coming days. But we did bounce off of there to end the week on some pretty low volume. You can see how low the volume is this week compared to weeks past with traders taking time off. But price really needs to recover the moving averages here at 476 through 479. And then we have the resistance, which is coming closer, narrowing with the support range here at about 480 next week. If we did get a daily close above there, would be slightly bullish. We would have resistance at the 488 level, which is a 50-day moving average. Anything above there certainly could open up a test of $5 to $5.10 again, but still have a lot of resistance here in the 475 to 480 range that we would need to get above to even have a chance at that happening. Strength indicators, we still have negative divergence formed here. We are trying to come up and test that again, that lowering trend line. If we break above it, that would be bullish. But that is controlling us as in the markets right now. Money flows, we got extremely oversold and actually bounced and started to come above this 20 level here, which would certainly lead to more upside if we got any bullish volume or headlines next week. Long-term momentum, we remain pretty flat in the long term. Really nothing changed. We're slightly negative since November. Hopefully we can continue to gravitate towards that neutral line and eventually turn positive. But for now, markets remain negative in the long term as we speak. So again, really want to see that 465 level hold next week on any weakness if we do get any more. New crop corn, we close the week at $5.05. Again, we remain above the support range from middle of August, and we bounced there again this week at $5. So that is a good sign that it keeps holding as support on low trading volume even. But we are moving back up towards these shorter term moving averages between 506 and 509. That will be immediate resistance. We have more resistance at the $5.12 area, and then we have trend line resistance from the July secondary high and then the lower high in October at 527. That resistance will come in at about $5.10 this week. So really need to get above there to see any type of breakout, but we'll just have to see what happens here in new crop. Strength indicators still have negative divergence formed. Money flows were oversold again, just like on the old crop. We are bouncing, so that is a good sign. We certainly have the some indication that if there were some bullish news, we would have a lot of room to run to the upside if the market wants to. Long-term momentum, we remain slightly declining. We're slightly below a positive or a neutral reading here, so slightly negative in the longer term. Hopefully can turn things around here after the first of the year. We switched to the old soybeans contract for March 2024. The January will be expiring this week, so the March closed at 1306 on Friday, just above the longer-term support range here. We've been in about a roughly $1.30 trading range in soybeans since August, and we are approaching the longer-term bottom support here of this range. So hopefully if we do get any weakness next week, this will act as good support. Any resistance next week would be starting at the 1324 to 1330 level, where the 9 and 20-day moving averages are. We also have a declining trend line in price here, which anything above the 1330 range could potentially see a breakout of there next week if soybeans wanted to. But pretty critical support level we're approaching between 1294 and 1282. If markets don't hold that, really can put this move in jeopardy of it, and maybe limit any upside here for the time being if that does happen. But if we do get above these resistance levels, surely could start making our way back up the $13.50 to $14 range, which would be nice if we could sell some old crop soybeans in that area. Strength indicators, we still have negative divergence. We're trying to break out of that. Hopefully we can do that next week. Money flows are extremely oversold. Certainly if we have some bullish headlines next week, definitely have room to run higher. Long-term momentum has turned negative on soybeans, so we are below a neutral reading. Not terribly below, but hopefully we can turn back higher here starting next week. And then for new crop soybeans, we close the week at 1258. This intermediate support level continues to hold nicely. We bounced off of there on Friday and closed at 1258. That support level is at about $12.50. We have longer term support on the longer term range from August at about $12.35 a bushel. Long term resistance is at about the $13.17 range. But we do have a negative price trend line here. It would take a close above about $12.70 to $12.75 next week to break out above there. Immediate resistance, we have a cluster of moving averages at the $12.71 to $12.78 range that is going to act as pretty hard resistance in addition to that negative trend line in price. So it would take a lot of bullish volume to get through there next week and after the first of the year. Again, strength has been declining for the past month or two on the soybean contract. Money flows have been very oversold, and long-term momentum has came down to a neutral reading on new crop soybeans. So certainly need some bullish news to move any higher on these markets, and hopefully we can get that after the first of the year. Want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great time with your family, and thank you for watching, and thank you for your business.